The Jeff Dwoskin Show presents Crossing the Streams with host Jeff Dwoskin, Bob Phillips, Ron Lippett, Howard Rosner, Sal D'Amelio, and Zach Wiseman, and today's special guest. Thank you for joining us as we talk about what we are streaming right here on Crossing the Streams.
Animals like drinking! We're drinking. Cheers. One more. Hear that song? It's good. All these variations. Your lifestyle.
Hey everybody, it's CJ Graham, Jason Voorhees. That's right, Friday the 13th, part 6. And you're listening to the scenesnobs.com. What's going on, everybody? It is the Scene Snob McManhattan. I am here today with the stars of Drive All Night. Yutaka Takeuchi and Sarah Dumont are here, and we're going to talk about the new movie premiering at Cinequest. So excited. I love Neo Noir, so I'm in.
I didn't know this genre until I worked on it. I mean, I really wasn't familiar with the term.
Nice. So, how did you enjoy working on it, though? That genre?
It was great. I mean, I'm still not sure if I really understand what Neo Noir is, but what is it?
So basically, like a film noir where it was, it's more of a dark and imposing. Like with Neo Noir, it's more up to date with the way it does things. It's you still have like those cast of characters. The femme fatale is in there. You have like the love interest and such to the movie, right. But the character, like this movie, from everything I'm reading, like movies like Drive and movies like Where the Monsters Roam, and Wild Goose Lake, stuff like that. It's the protagonist is kind of put through hell, not of his own fruition. So he may be the.
But that sounds like a little. Every story is like that, isn't it? The protagonist.
Sort of, yeah. But this is one where it's mostly you're being like the characters, thrown into this. Like you have a good type of character who would not normally, like Collateral, something like that, like where he's a character you would never think he would be a part of this hitman's life, and he's thrust into this position where it's dangerous, and now he's being hunted, and so like Neo Noir is just like that type of thriller that just kind of like sticks out and creates interesting characters who are in like this underbelly. I've always enjoyed those types of stories. There's a great one that came out. I watched it last year, and it was an indie film. It came out of China. It was called The Wild Goose Lake, and it's about this character. He's a scooter thief. Like they're stealing scooters. He's a part of this gang that does it. And the police put a big bounty out on him. So he gets this idea to have his wife turn him in so she can get the bounty because they need the money. Okay. But there's this other rival gang that are hunting him down because they want the bounty. So now like it becomes like this escape, like this whole thing he has to get away from, just so that way he can somehow get his wife to turn him in. It's a really well done, like it's a great representation of Neo Noir as well.
Where'd you watch it? The film festival?
Yeah, last year it was a part of this film festival that the Alamo Drafthouse was doing virtually after COVID hit. They were doing it online, and I did get to see it because I was interviewing a few of the filmmakers behind it. So it was a lot of fun. It's very brutal. Most of them are, as you know. But yeah, it was a really good time. And, I got to see a few of the things for Drive All Night too. And first of all, I love your poster. I don't. The
Yeah,
poster
me
was
too.
truly magnificent.
They
But
actually,
what?
Peter, the director, the writer, Peter, he showed me actually maybe 5, 6 different versions of the poster, and he ended up. I mean, the one that you saw, I think that's
Mhm.
his choice after all. But yeah, they had a pretty nice different versions of posters, including this one.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's so well done, and with what was the big draw to this movie for you? You've been in
Oh,
some amazing stories, movies. I'd love to get into that, but Drive All Night, like I can see why you'd be attracted to this role, but for you, like when you read it, what did you see?
Well, first of all, I clearly remember that the few days prior to the day that I received the script from Peter through my manager, I started driving with Uber. Just I was interested in experiencing it, and I just was interested, simply interested in it. So I finally started driving with Uber, and yeah, 2 or 3 days later, I received a script. So I feel like, okay, I'm meant to do this, I'm sure. So even before I finished reading the entire script, I was already, intrigued. I mean, besides the story was interesting, but that fact, totally encouraged me big time.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And with a role like this too, and especially the type of story that it seems very, introspective in a way. Like your character is the main goal of everything like in this story. So like your character is the most important aspect,
Right.
really, to the story. So with all of the different projects you've had, I mean, you've been on Defenders, True Blood, things like that, where it's very open and you work with a lot of different characters all at once, and that play a role. But for you, how did you take this role that kind of the focus is more inward, and what did you do with that as an actor?
I'm not sure how I did it because every character I play, the process has never been the same anyway, and I do what I do everything I can think of. So, for example, this he's a taxi driver, and he's a reclusive swing shift taxi driver. And swing shift taxi driver, I tend to work so hard, and unless someone stops me, I sometimes don't stop preparing or working, and I forget if it's what day it is, or so I can relate to that part. And driving the taxi and having someone in the back was really exactly what I was doing in the Uber. So I'm, I can't recall exactly what I did specifically, but I did everything I was able to think about and everything I thought would help. And yeah,
Well,
but we actors, we have that.
mhm.
Yeah, I don't
How
know. I
was it?
think.
How was it for you though, playing this character? And like for you, like how you start driving with Uber to kind of connect with that, but like mentally preparing and saying, I think this character should be like this, have this personality trait. Like,
Yeah, I think this is my interpretation. So when you watch the movie, it can be different. But to me, it's really is Dave like stepping into the unknown. Like you have some past experience that stops you from going to the direction your unconsciousness wants to go. But your consciousness is probably scared or somehow it's stopping. But through the story, through the ride, they're having this mysterious young woman named Kara. She after he picks up her, his night turns unexpected direction. And
Mhm.
where was I going? So yeah. I mean, stepping into the unknown is always scary for even me, and
Yeah.
I mean, even for you probably. So that part is really the core of the challenge that I had. Uh, you know,
S- Now, being on set too, and just with the action that comes with it and things like that, you're no stranger to that, of course, with your previous projects and how much you've
you're
done.
right, right.
But what was it? How was the shoot? How long did the shoot take, and how difficult was it at times?
The what do you mean the action? Because I don't think
Well, just
I
like
did any.
it's a heavy driving
Oh, driving. Yeah,
movie, things
the
like that.
entire. I mean, not the entire. I think it's 80 to 90% of the driving scenes you see in the movie was filmed inside the room.
Okay, nice.
They had some special equipment and have a projected on the screen, and it makes it look like I was driving. But the car wasn't really moving. So me personally, I don't like when I watch someone driving the car and not looking on the road. So I was really concerned about if I was looking, as if I'm really driving or not.
Yeah,
And when I saw the movie, it was, it looked like okay. So I was glad.
that's awesome. And so this was, I believe, the second film of the filmmaker Peter Heish. Is it?
Peter Shea, I think this is his
Okay,
first feature film, his debut film,
nice. And
directorial
so,
debut. Yeah.
what was that like working with the first time filmmaker on his
I
first
remember
project?
the first day that I showed up on set. He wanted to sort of test me. He asked me to blindfold it and just followed his direction, the verbal direction, then just going from one point to another inside a big room.
Okay.
Like yeah, he wanted to he wanted me to trust him, but I was already trusting him as soon as I read the script. So it wasn't a big test for me, but yeah, that was interesting experience. And after that, when you see the movie, it's pretty surreal and dreamlike, mysterious story. And I usually try to picture the entire movie as I'm working on set as much as possible. But this time, I just had to give up on it. And then, because I couldn't see what he was seeing, exactly what he was seeing, the entire picture he had in his mind. I couldn't see it, so I just gave up and okay, I trust you, but I will trust you even more, and I'll just trust your word. So if you find anything fault with what I'm doing, just tell me. Um, yeah, it was really exciting in that way.
Nice, that's awesome, and you got a pretty good cast here too. How did the cast come together? How was that?
Honestly, I was surprised to be able to work with such a well, they're beautiful. I mean, gorgeous in real person. Everyone was interested, not only beautiful but also personally very interesting human being, and
Nice.
they treated me so nice. And yeah, I really enjoyed working every one of them. I mean, I got to work mostly Kara, the Lexi, and Sarah, the Morgan,
Mhm.
and but yeah, especially those two, I worked mostly worked with them, and they were great.
That's awesome. That's really cool. And yeah, so I mean, now it's premiering. How does it feel? Like, you're getting into the virtual. Fortunately, right now everything's virtual, but I'm sure the movie is going to be
Yeah.
showing in person this year. I'm very optimistic. So, how's the rush feel doing that?
Well,
Getting into.
personally, it would be much better if I could show up and see the movie and feel the live audiences. I mean, the vibe from them at the theater. But since it doesn't happen, but you know, This is a virtual film festival. You don't have to be in the US to watch the movie. Anybody, I mean, whoever wants to see the movie outside, inside the country, they can watch it, which is, I think, nice.
Very cool. Yeah, and I mean, I just talking to people and like reading up on it more and more. I'm seeing great feelings about the movie, and it's awesome that it's going to be at Cinequest Film Festival, this next week, starting March 20th through 30th. So yeah, Yutaka, I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for you. I have a feeling this movie's going to be pretty big. And Sarah is joining us.
I hope so.
Sarah, hi.
We figured out the computer. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Taka.
Hey, Sarah.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good.
Nice.
I feel a little old, like 90 something, trying to figure it out. I was like, I guess it hasn't started yet. And then it's like begin broadcast. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, well, I'm glad you made it. Absolutely. I'm very excited. Yeah, we were talking about the movie, just how exciting it is with being at Cinequest and premiering.
No, it's a big festival.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's sad to see that it's virtual again, but I've been loving the virtual. Like, everybody's been doing a really good job, and it's a good far reach for a lot of us who can't be there.
Yeah, I saw more people in the seats. I was talking on an interview earlier, and I was like, I actually personally, I hate like watching myself on the big screen. I don't like it. I think I focus on the wrong things. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at my pores. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, my favorite part about filming is actually filming. But I think it must be such a bummer for like the first time filmmakers where it's their first piece, like Peter, and it's on the big screen, and they're like kind of missing that experience of the first time seeing what you wrote that big with so many people watching.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And
totally
I mean, you have such a main character in this. You are in a Neo Noir, the love interest. Like the one that connects the most with her.
Yeah, the lighter one, which is funny because I'm usually the opposite.
How does it feel stepping into the role?
No, it was good. It's good. It's like every person has a lot of different sides to them, and I'm like, I am the mom of my group, and I'm the big sister, and I played a mother in an indie, a very different kind of movie, right before I came and did this. And so it was like, they're like, yeah, like she's got a mom and she's not, super sexualized or just like leaning into the cliche. So I jumped on it because it's usually you look a certain way and they Google you and they're like, oh, so you're like the sex bomb. And I'm like, or not.
No, you're an actor, and that's
like I'm an actor. Like, I don't see you making John Hamm get naked in every movie.
Well, I mean, listen, that guy's chin is a little too big for me, but whatever. No, I love John Hamm. I'm just kidding. But
no, he's great. He's great. I heard that there's like a big story in Hollywood, like how he was like so close to not getting that role that they even like kept casting to try and find someone not as good looking because they thought he was too good looking.
I wish I had that problem.
You do have
a nice problem.
You gotta come closer to the camera. It's
well, we were talking about neo noirs and just kind of the crime aspect and the action aspect to it. Stepping into this role in this type of movie, I know you're no stranger to it because I've seen you in other films, especially Scout's Guide. You did fantastic in a fun action film. So, what was it like for you to step into this? And it's very different, very dark.
It's very different. It's very dark. It's not like action in this sense of like Scouts, where it's a lot of physical action, especially not for my character. I love stunts. I like to just like fight in general. Like I go to jujitsu and box for exercise so that I don't get in fights like an animal. But it's not that. There's a lot going on in front of your face, but it's so nuanced and like layered that you can have three different people watch the same scene and get three different things out of it, which is a different kind of action. It's more psychological than anything else.
Nice. Okay. So, and for like, how did I was asking Yutaka like how he prepared for the role. How did you, when you stepped in, what were some preparations you made to kind of connect with this character?
I always hate this question because I always sound like such a douchebag when I answer it. I don't like to prepare too much. Like,
Nothing wrong with that.
and like, I'm not in the sense of like, oh, I just like show up and like don't even try. Like, no, not at all. It's just that I think that for me, unless I'm trying to, obviously when you're doing very choreographed stunts, you want to get it perfect. Like if you can get this big stunt done for right the first time, the stunt team's your best friend, it's the best people to hang out with on set, or you're maybe playing like a real person, there's a lot of prep work to do. But for me, it's like, I just like to play me in that situation and circumstance. I'm like, I've had an overactive imagination my entire life, got me in a lot of trouble as a kid. But it's like, I like to drop in when I'm dropping in.
Yeah, okay. I like that answer. That's not a douchey answer.
I prep too much when there's not really a need, like I'm playing an actual person or there's choreographed stunts or all these kinds of crazy dialogue. I actually really don't like to prepare too much because I feel like it loses it. Because it's like, if I would prepare, like, how am I going to say this to him and blah, 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 then I would get it one way in my head. And then Taka comes in and it was nothing like I imagined when I read the script. Like, I didn't know him at all as a person. So then you get like the genuine reaction and the genuine, the pupils dilating and smirks and stuff. And it just kind of happens rather than, I'm going to do it like this. And it's also when Lexi starts going off on me, that point where I'm just like, wow, that's not in the script. That was just a reaction to like, you're crazy. And I don't know. Yeah, it's like, it sounds sushi. It sounds sushi. Like, I didn't prep. There's a lot of prep, but it's life.
That's awesome, though. And like I said, that's a great answer. Because, I mean, coming into it from a fresh perspective, especially like, you know, when I do stuff like this, I'm live, you know, 4 or 5 days a week, you know, so on different things. So, and I try to do the same thing because it's just like, I feel like, I don't know if I'm sounding douchey now, but like, I feel like I bring a, more of an improv.
It's more organic. I think that word, but
organic. Yeah. It's a good way to put it. Like, you know, I can at least step in and it just pushes me to be myself, I think. You know, and I like how you said that. Yeah. And Yutaka, you said the same thing, sort of like to the answer, where it wasn't as much.
Like sorry. I mean, she wasn't really present on set. That's for sure. She was. That's awesome. I mean, exactly. She was who she was. I would say.
So playing in this world, and you know, where it's almost like a very mistrusting world in Neo Noir and things like that. Not that you mistrust each character mistrust each other, but there's always some sort of turmoil, you know, that leads to a very dark place. You know,
it's just like a melodramatic version of life, though. I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
you know, there's people that are like, come off happy-go-lucky. That's a defense mechanism. We don't trust you either. Like, that's just their way of dealing with it. Yeah. Like, I'm going to be sweet, so you have no issue to have an issue with me because I don't want you. You know, we're all like that. We all think that. I think Neo Noir is just really just an exaggerated version of life.
That's all right. I couldn't put it better myself, so I am going to leave that one right there. I do. What I do is like to kind of finish off all interviews. I like to ask some fun questions if you guys are up for it.
Okay.
What are some of your top 5 remote drop movies? If it's on TV, you got to drop the remote and watch that movie right there.
Fifth Element.
That's a great choice.
Sorry.
If you see it on TV, you drop the remote and you're watching this.
Yeah, you watch it.
Fifth Element's a great choice, though.
Come on.
What is it? What is it?
I've never heard of it. On Mila Jovovich and Bruce Willis. And Chris
and space epic sci-fi.
Oh, Fifth Element.
I was like, you have to watch
the Fifth. Okay, yeah. Okay, now I remember yeah. It's deeply related to Bible as far as I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I didn't understand back then, but yeah. Okay.
No, I was like a weird kid. I really liked Luc Besson. I was probably like 8 when I saw The Professional the first time on VHS. It had been out a little bit. And I was like, oh my gosh, Natalie Portman. So cool.
Yeah, right.
I had like the Joker.
You forget she's a kid in that movie too, because like she plays such an
she plays
older personality.
She's like a kid that's in that situation. You grow up so fast, and you're never really gonna be a kid growing up like that, but you're not actually an adult. So it's like she tries so hard. I don't know. I watched it with an ex-boyfriend. He was like, how is this your favorite movie? This is so uncomfortable. She's sexualized and blah, blah. I'm like, that's the whole point. He's herself as an adult. And Jean Reno is like, you're a baby. Stop it.
He's showing her what a father figure is.
Weirdly enough. I'm like, you're the weirdo. Jean Reno sees her as like a daughter figure, you freak. Why are you seeing it that way?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, just to ask, what are some of your favorite genres that you've worked in?
Working in?
Yeah.
I mean, comedy is always fun. It is fun, but I do like the serious drama.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, it's therapeutic. It's like you get in, you drop in, like all this stuff comes out, and it's just a huge therapy for me. I was so scared of doing really vulnerable stuff for the longest time because I was one of those kids that like didn't cry in front of people. Like or like young adult that didn't cry in front of people. I was like very angry. But then like once I was like finally had booked something, and I was like, oh, now you're doing it, so you better get with the program and like go to class and like learn this out. And then once I did it, the satisfaction and the gratification of that, and then like this huge weight off the shoulders after doing it, it's like I don't like to like it or watch it any more than anything else, especially like, what you're running down your nose and stuff. But it does more for me as a person, I think, to do dramatic work.
Ah, okay, that's awesome. Yeah. And how about Yutaka? How about you? What are some genres that you like to work in that you've been in?
I definitely enjoy the action part of The Defenders. I mean, I like drama as well, but the action. I used to do karate, and also like she did the jiu-jitsu for a while. I think I would enjoy doing the action again if I have a chance.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, listen, I love both those answers, drama and action. I mean,
yeah, I like action too. It's just, I don't know. I've always kind of like missed the gun on those like great, like, oh, like they're redoing Terminator, and you're like, great, I'm gonna go like front of the line, and it's like this casting director loves me, and they're like, yeah, and they're giving Amelia Clark sit down, like they're not.
One more question I wanted to ask you guys, because you're both movie stars. You're both TV stars. You've run the gamut on both, and TV is such a crazy new world that has kind of stepped up, and it's the golden age of TV, I'd say, right now.
Yeah.
With everything like The Oath, great show. Like you wouldn't see something like that 20 years ago. It'd be more procedural.
Another show on Crackle. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose it. Eddie Gathegi is so good in it.
Yeah, The Oath. That was a great.
No, The Oath, but it's also there's another show on Crackle.
You didn't? Oh, okay.
Is the Haitian guy that like in and oh my gosh, I can't think of the names. It's gonna drive me nuts. Anyways, go back to your point. Sorry for interrupting.
But like you talk with not just Defenders, but like True Blood and such. These are shows that stand out, all of them. And they've kind of like brought television to an upper echelon of like filmmaking.
Yeah.
So for you, like
3-season deal really changed the game as well.
Yeah.
Like when you had Clive Owen doing The Nick, I felt like that was a huge turning point.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we can take a A-lister and get them to do these projects. And then HBO was doing it, and then streaming really opened up the door. And it just like, people were like, oh yeah, you don't actually need to have this formula. Like, oh, okay, Boy Meets Girl, coming of age, CW. Like, yeah, you have that too, but you can really go balls to the walls and tell stories from all different age groups and backgrounds and places and languages, and people are willing to watch great acting with subtitles. Yeah. Like if the story's compelling, it's compelling. And I think that streaming really changed that. Like the 3-season, 1 season, these like anthology type shows really just turned it into the golden age. And like television, I remember when I was a kid, it was like TV actors and film actors.
Right.
And then once you did the film, you didn't TV anymore.
Yeah, now it seems like it's so interchangeable, but it's because of the storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
look, the Justice League movie comes out today. It came out today. It's 4 hours long. It's broken up into 7 parts.
What?
And
4 hours long?
It's 4 hours, 7 parts. You can watch it like it's a TV series. You don't have to treat it like a movie.
What
Yeah,
movie?
the new Justice League movie that came out today. You know, so like something like
It's
that.
like The Irishman?
Under a rock. I was like,
Irishman
there's
was
a Justice League movie that came out?
Yeah, well, they came out with one. They heavily edited one and fired Zack Snyder in 2017, and then but then they rehired him back. HBO Max said, "Okay, they gave him like another $50 million and said, go ahead and do reshoots." He reshot everything last year, and now it went from like an hour and a half, 2 hour movie to a 4 hour epic.
Yeah.
If you watch the 2 hour version, a lot of people were very unhappy with that. I'm one of them included. But I just watched the 4 hour version last night, and
They can't be told late. Like they just can't.
it's so wonderful. But then you see things like Disney's doing WandaVision, and they have the new Captain America show coming out tomorrow, and things like that. So
I love Mandalorian. I'm not gonna lie.
The Mandalorian, it's so epic, everything they're doing with TV shows. You know, I'm wondering for both of you to know both worlds, you know, of movie stars and TV stars. What do you prefer, almost from a storytelling aspect? You know?
TV from a storytelling aspect, I would say. From just me, because I like to get fully engulfed in a world. Like my bookshelf looks like a 19-year-old. I love like these dystopian futures, and I want to read 6 books deep and like really dive in. I mean, in quarantine, I've read this Red Queen series 4 times through. Like I just want to go and drop into an entire world, like Boardwalk Empire. I want to be in Jersey in the 20s, and I want to get fully dropped in Warrior. I don't know if you've seen this. It's by the Bruce Lee stories. This is amazing. They don't make another season, I'll cry.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, but I like to drop in like that. And films are great too, but if I have to choose, I would say shows.
Okay, very cool. How about Yutaka? How about you, man? What would you like to do?
As long as the story is interesting to me, I really love to work on both. That's my honest answer. But personally, I like movies to see that if I get to work on a movie, then you get the 120 pages of the story, and you know the beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you work on a TV show and you don't really know where it's going.
I would far rather a movie. Working on it, I would far rather a movie.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
yeah. If it was like, okay, like you only get to watch one or engulf in one, I'm going to go with the show, but definitely the film, because you have the beginning, middle, and the end. You know what's happening. You don't you don't know, like, 4 years from now, you're moving. You're like, oh, this is great. We film half the time in London, half the time in Tokyo. And guess what? Next season, you're in Vietnam. And then the season after that, and then after that, and then after that, and you're doing all these things that you never signed up for, and you're playing a character that you didn't sign up to. It's risky. It's scary, and I think that's why it really changed when they started coming up with these anthology type series or these contract deals, because what used to be unheard of. You did a show 6-year contract, or you weren't doing it.
Yeah, no, and it's
year.
Now it's just so open, and like you said, like the storytelling is it's bringing it to all new heights. Like, you watch some of these shows, like the Jack Ryan show, like they're in a different world every season. It's so different. So it's like,
Jack Ryan.
That's the Tom Clancy one with John Krasinski. Oh, did you just get booked for it, you said?
No, they're books, the Jack Ryans, aren't they?
Oh yeah. They've been around for a while, but they're just redid this series, and like the first season took place all over the globe. The second season was in mostly South America. So like, it's got to be fun for just to be able to world travel like that. Of course,
it's fun for like the writers, the actors, the stunt team. I don't know about them line producers. I bet they're all bald, They have no nails. They're like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this?
I will tell you this. I started out in the industry. I was a line producer, and I have hair, so I just wanted to point that out.
Good job. You did a good job then.
Well, it's probably because I got out early and said, "Oh, I'll do this." I kept my hair. I did before it all got pulled out. But I really appreciate you guys coming on. I'm so excited for Drive All Night. And again, for everybody, it's premiering at Cinequest, so you can go watch it virtually. You can buy your ticket. Make sure you go check it out and support it.
Please.
Yes, and we're going to promote it here on the Scene Snobs for sure. So yeah,
I just
love talking to you guys, but would love to have you back anytime. Please, anytime you have something to promote, feel free to come on.
Yeah.
We're a network, so we have 26 shows. We're more than happy to help you out any way we can.
26.
Yeah, we're live shows. We're live and broadcast shows daily.
Hey.
We're a full-on network.
Awesome.
So. But it's the 2020 was hard on a lot of people, so I was like, I'll take advantage of it and make a network out of it.
Great.
But yeah, I'm super excited for you guys. This is awesome. The movie looks awesome. I cannot wait. But just by how awesomely pleasant you guys are, I know it's going to be great.
It was a great way to shoot. Everyone on set was happy to be there, got along great. There was no egos. Everyone's like, I don't understand this. Let's talk about it. Okay, that sounds great.
Well, do you guys have anything that you want to plug before you leave besides the movie? Just real quick.
No, I want to focus solely on the movie. Go see the movie, support the movie. It's like a bare bones crew of like a lot of new filmmakers and DPs. That it's amazing photography. It's great acting. Just enjoy it, watch it, support it, keep it happening. Hopefully we'll all get in a theater at some point soon or later.
And you heard it here first, everybody. Go check out Drive All Night, starring Yutaka Takeuchi and starring Sarah Dumont. Sorry. Of course, I messed up Sarah. That's the one I messed up.
I actually messed up my name because it's less basic when you do it like that. That's cool.
Very fair. And I'm, of course, Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob. You can go check out any of our shows over on thescenesnobs.com. Thank you for joining, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye, guys. Good to see you, Yutaka.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Awesome.